Everybody, it's your boy DJ Gatsby of the DJ Gatsby Show. We're here in Harlem on 134th Street with author Ishmael R. Brown, talking about his latest book, My Own Worst Enemy, A Black Man, The American Story. Ishmael is going to be appearing at the Literary Mixer at the Dwyer Cultural Center here in Harlem on March 29th with a few other authors. I believe there's Katie McGregor, Mel Robinson, Sonovia Alexander, and SHAWN Hudson, John Hudson. All right, but again, today we're here with Ishmael R. Brown. How you doing, my brother?
Doing pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. And had a nice trip down. And looking forward to doing this interview with you. And so you can tell us who you are and give my viewers a little bit about what it is that you do. So tell us where you're from and what is it that you do?
I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, and I do marketing communication strategies for the government. I've been writing for now over maybe 5 years. My first book, My Own Worst Enemy, A Black Man's American Story, released in 2016 on October 28th, my birthday.
All right. Okay, now you said you've been writing for 5 years, but when did you actually release the book?
2016? Yeah, 2016.
Okay, 2016. So the title is very, very interesting. And I have the book here. I'm just reading it, looking at it while I do the interview. But tell us a bit about the title of the book and its meaning.
For me, it's a deeper meaning from the standpoint of when you consider the question, am I my own worst enemy? It forces you to look inward and stop pointing the blame at other people, because growing up throughout my life, I pointed the finger at my father, my mother, or other entities that served a purpose in my life. So I was like, as you get older, and especially as a man, you start to take accountability for your own actions, and that's how you're able to mature and develop and further your life. So that's what that title means to me.
Okay, now looking at the synopsis on the back, it poses the question, are you your worst enemy? And it says, I invite you to experience the ups and downs of a young man looking to discover himself despite all the challenges he's up against. And it goes on to say, he learns how he overcomes societal stereotypes as a black male in America, all while assuming ownership of the countless relationships he's damaged, and more importantly, forgiving himself along the way. That's just some of the synopsis. What are some of the stereotypes that you talk about in this book that young black men in America deal with?
It's just, when you think about it, we've been suited and tailored to end up in the street life, which is a filtration system into the prison industrial system, not necessarily to equate to any form of success or be a present father or be a husband or be a positive figure and a staple within a greater community. So for me, facing those type of barriers and those type of obstacles, it was a matter of overcoming and not becoming a statistic more so than anything.
Wow, you just said a lot right there. There are a lot of stereotypes that young black men have to deal with. It's also society and the system that is really built to hold them back. Who are some of the authors that you've read? Because it is a very interesting topic. And, a lot of young authors would probably be writing about something different at this point in life. You seem like a young man who seemed very well read. Who are some of the authors that you've read that influenced you to write a book like this?
Malcolm X. The autobiography is something I read 4 times now. I had to read it in grade school. I read it when I became a teenager, and also when I set into my adulthood, and it just impacted me differently in every sense of my life. So just understanding how he was able to articulate his experiences as a black man, going from being Little Detroit Red all the way to Malcolm X. And when you think about today's time with social media, Kevin Hart said it best: we will not allow Little Detroit Red transform and to grow into Malcolm X. We will be constantly reminding him of his past, trials and tribulations and all of his shortcomings in life. So just seeing how he was able to transform as a man and progress not only his physical but his mental, to elevate those around him and just really empower people and empower a race in such a turbulent times, that inspired me. Michael Eric Dyson's another major author that has a major impact on my life. One of my favorite books by him is Bill Cosby Right, or Has the Middle Class Lost Its Mind? And it really breaks down Bill Cosby the figure and Bill Cosby the person, and how he really was instrumental in displaying a positive role model through the Cosby Show, but also how he chastised the middle class and how he spoke ill of African American people from our naming conventions, that how they were untraditional and they weren't of white nomenclature. So he really broke that down in a way that I had a admiration for him, that I was like, man, this guy is amazing. So when you look at Bill Cosby and you look at how Michael Eric Dyson broke that down, it really inspired me.
Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson's a phenomenal cat, man. I really like him. You mentioned the autobiography of Malcolm X. That's the Alex Haley book you're talking about. All right, it's DJ Gatsby. We're here for the talk show. We're with author Ishmael R. Brown. We're talking about My Own Worst Enemy, A Black Man's American History. We'll be right back, right after this message.